Let's see if Twitch or Restream decide to behave today. Because I'm already seeing really low bitrate, which is strange. I've got it set to 6,000. I know I can hit 6,000. I usually do hit 6,000. But it's only showing 2,700 to 3,000, and I was just checking both streams and they look fine. We'll see. We will see. Once again, my camera has decided to just do whatever it wants to. Auto white balance on this thing is so bad. And it resets every time. There we go. Yeah, everything looks fine on YouTube and Twitch. I think OBS might be bugged. I did refuse an update, but paranoia will make you do that. All right. Well, to say that I've been busy in this world is... We'll talk about that in a minute. Where I've come across these and the blocks stayed hidden. And I actually ended up having to I lost Nimbus Stone and I had to do the pipe cover on them again. But it seems like now it's working fine. I wonder if that's just like a weird visual artifact. So I built this out originally, and we had talked about having a staircase come straight down. Well, if you look, a staircase that comes straight down from the front door would stop right about here and put us right into the shore. And after a lot of thinking and a lot of discussing kind of with you guys and I did a little bit of chatting on Blue Sky, and we kind of looked at it and talked about it, and I think this was the move. So rather than making you go up some grand staircase at the front of this building that has an equally opposing, not so grand end to the staircase, I built a huge and one of my best, if not my absolute best, bridges into here. So first things first, let's talk about the roof, because I did the roof like I said I would without you guys. It's a split level roof. There's one for the nice big open room over here. And then there is an angled roof with just a bunch of accoutrements but because of the stark lighting down here, which is still mob safe, it looks really almost the same color, very similar. So I like how this turned out. This is just the exterior wall has been extended all the way down to meet into the basement floor. This is temporary stuff. We're gonna get on that axis at least. And then we've got more paintings just kind of here and there. Again, not too many paintings. The role of this place isn't to be a house, it's to be relatively well polished. And then, yeah, here we have just the big viewing room, which will probably put some sort of beautiful automation that I'm going to want to be able to see. My thinking is ugly stuff, really ugly stuff and infrastructure can go in the basement. Mildly ugly or large stuff can go up here in these rooms without windows. So like maybe this room would be for our crafter, our multi-block crafting system, or like conveyor automation or whatever. So yeah. And then I've got these wall lanterns, which are just, these are the specifically brass lanterns from Supplementaries. Sub-Square, actually. They used to be in Supplementary's base, but they got moved out since they are technically an add-on. So that did cost me some brass and some blaze powder. Illwood fences on smooth stone tiles. These are all just variations of the smooth stone that I really like. And then to help kind of go from A to B, we've got andesite as a base layer to help smooth it out. Supporting this are a bunch of copycat stairs, which lets you very easily define what direction the beam texture applies to, and so you can actually change it really easily by just right-clicking with the same block source multiple times, and you can rotate it. And so I've got these beams all facing the correct way, so these are going to go from left to right, these are going to go along this axis. So I guess probably, what, east-west and the north-south. I've got dark oak trapdoors as like a beam base of some sort, and occasional lanterns hanging so that they all stay nice and well lit down here. You can see the beams go all the way through, the supports go all the way through. Everything's pretty consistent. I tend to try to be as consistent as possible. And then on this end, I've actually, to keep mobs from ever getting in there, we've got these copycat boards, this is a secret I've shown you guys before, have sweetberry bushes underneath them, and I tested and confirmed that, in fact, mobs will not walk over this. They treat this just the same as a carpet, which means they think they're going to get hit by the glowberry, or the sweetberry. Now, the fun thing. I have preemptively planned and built a pipeline, literal line of piping, just from point A to point B. This doesn't connect to anything on either end, but it is here specifically so that I can make sure that we have easy access to our items once we get some pipes set up. So you can see there's pipes all the way through here. Made enough pipes to reach from one end of the bridge to another. Mind you, without a pipe pressurizer, this is going to be incredibly slow, but these are just the kind of things that we have to deal with until we can get into pipe pressurization from Pneumatic Craft, which is not actually that bad. I still need to retexture this horrendous thing, though. So once we get into a little bit of Pneumatic Craft, it really does not take much. And then we just need some way to create energy. So, things are slow until they aren't. I need Hawaii to stop calling me. I've had like 4 random phone calls since 4 o'clock? 4:30? Anyways, clearly I logged myself off with an inventory full of garbage. Love that for me. Thanks. This is basically what I've been up to. It's been a lot. The end was far from interesting. Nothing's really been too terribly exciting or interesting. Just been kind of doing more of the same and trying to prep stuff up a little bit. Thanks, Stream Elements. All right, so I've got... Thanks, Pip Pip. I appreciate it. I don't like this chat. This chat is not... My in-video chat is working, but this chat is not telling me... is not telling me when someone from YouTube is chatting, which is annoying. You're fine. I hope it's not on my end. I think it should be fixed, maybe. It is definitely crunchier on YouTube than it was on Twitch. Oh, it was actually just set to... No, that is actually really low bitrate compared to Twitch. I think I may have to drop YouTube support because it is just so bad. Let me see something. There we go. We're going to go back to my old chat because this one worked better. Yeah, I don't know what's up with Is my keyframe interval just that wrong? Is that a problem? Surely that wasn't. Let me see. I'm curious. That certainly helped somewhat. sorry, Pip Pip. Again, my chat tool was not showing me who was chatting. I tried a different one out for a little bit. I went back to Restreams because it actually, the other one I was using said that it was showing chat from both streams, but it clearly wasn't. Whereas Restream is what I stream through, and this is definitely working. So sorry, I'm having to catch up on messages. Yes, welcome to here at a beginning of a stream. Bitrate issues on YouTube seem to be universal. Glad to know it's not just me. That's really annoying though. And then yeah, as for how I've been, good. Good. Just been here, existing. Kind of been heads down with a lot of work stuff as of late. But still here. And work's been fun. I've actually really been enjoying the kind of work I've been doing. Hey, there you go. I was reading your previous chats on YouTube, but now you popped up in my Restream chat on the side window. Thank goodness, because I rely on that a lot. That is part of my flow. So it's just like, ah, crud. Where did that go? Anyways, we have some clean up to do before I can continue today. In case you were wondering, by the way. Oh god, this. So I need to make these into like sticks because I do not want. I'm just gonna say that. That's a lot. That's one free stick per, actually. That's kind of nice. Anyways, so I do not want to run into issues with running out of resources again, but this is surprisingly rotten flesh is the reason why I don't have more of the organic compost. And so I had to start stripping the logs that I had sitting around that I did not want. And once stripped, of course, now I really don't want them. So they can all become stick stacks as far as I am concerned. Because stick stacks are just, they're fine, but more importantly, they are stick potential, and I've already got quite a few. But, yeah, it's kind of whatever. I don't really care for these too much, but they can sit around and chill, I suppose. Ooh, pebble. I will decorate with a pebble. Why not? I don't know. Probably feel like I should have, like, at least one up here that's kind of made its way through. People not wiping their feet before they step on the bridge or whatever. I don't know. And then the reason I keep getting mid-sentence and forgetting things because I left myself in a terrible state for success. I'm gonna be honest, I really did myself over here in a not great way. So what I've done is I've left myself with a mess that I feel the need to clean, and I'm terrible at cleaning up a mess and talking at the same time a lot of times. So this is gonna be interesting. Anyways, that's why in my videos I used to and still do clean up off camera more or less. But I have been working through a handful of little niceties as I build up this little space. We have an abundance of mushrooms now, more than I can fit in my refrigerator that I made. And I don't know what to do with them. Is that full? Oh, that's full. Crud. Are you... You're Viridium. Okay, we can bump you up from Viridium to Dawnstone. Dawnstone and Viridium have the same values. What am I thinking? That's fine. Like I said, we do not need this. Pip Pip, you're good. You actually have schedules for yours, and I just didn't see it. Meanwhile, I just stream whenever I have time and a lack of guilt for leaving my wife with the dog. So, it is what it is. Oh, here's that tree bark that I was using. So you can use tree bark to make organic compost instead. It's more tree bark this way, though, which kind of stinks. But I did not want to figure out how to rotten flesh in bulk. They can. I just don't want to. I think they can. Yeah, they can. I just don't want to. I have a surplus of bone meal. I have 200 piles of bones, which are essentially bone blocks without being bone blocks. Also, they have little skulls on them, which I think are fun. Because we have a 12 spawner skeleton spawner. And in the future, it's going to be automated, so we're always going to have a surplus of bones going forward. So things are going to get interesting when it comes to some of that. And I don't really know how to set myself up for not a terrible time in that regard, but we'll see. We have extra rich soil. We have those. I'm not going to waste 2 slots on straw and... Hello, where did that go? On straw and tree bark. Neither of these 2 are necessary. The rope and nail with the hammock can go back down here, which is where it used to be. I moved it up to the bridge because I used the bridge, and it's a very, very long amount of space. Actually, I want this facing the other way. I used the bridge and the very long amount of space that it has to create my organic compost and actually have it compost down and turn into goo. So I used the entire span of this bridge to make all my compost on. See, they're just doing its thing again. It's fine. Like, this isn't that big of a deal. It's just funny. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to do now with all of these mushrooms, but mushrooms are a catalyst for growing compost. Here. Doesn't show up. Rich farmland, actually. Or soil. So it is an activator. Sorry. So you can use mushrooms, and mushrooms will then, in part, grow into mushroom colonies, which drop multiple of that mushroom. And so now I have tons of both mushroom, and I don't want to get rid of them because mushrooms are one of those things the very second you do, you end up needing them. I think I'm just going to have to set up a drawer for them and put that in the kitchen. I think that's the move. Just have like a little drawer somewhere. Because these drawers are all full-ish. But I could do like a... what could I do? What could I do? I wish paintings would acknowledge that sometimes that's not a good place to be. What are these made out of? Are these mangrove? These are mangrove. Let's try a mangrove drawer. I think I already have some amount of drawer. Somewhere? No, I do not. I do think I'm going to need this for iridium upgrade, though. And I'm going to grab a piece of dirt so that I can place this painting down as a 1x1 painting. Right here, with some variety of food on it. I mean, maybe one that I can recognize. I know that there's a couple of cute ones. Oh, I wanted that one. Rude. Okay, that one works too. Or do we put it here? Oh, hello. Don't. Thank you. I think we might just put it here, and I might make a half drawer. I think that green's going to pop out with the mangrove drawer as well, which is nice. All right, let us... My phone is blowing up. Let us grab a mangrove drawer. Crud. Right, I have to make a framed drawer. That's right. This is... Wait, no, I don't. Hang on. Do I? Right, because... Okay. Storage drawers finally updated to add support for the new woods. Every compatibility finally updated, or updated in turn, to remove support for the new woods. As a result, since I've downgraded my storage drawers because of other bugs I ran into, but still have the upgraded every compat, I don't have mangrove vanilla drawers. I have to frame them. Okay, fine. I see your games, and I return to you a bleh. Okay, so let me think. It's a chest and framed drawer, half 1x2. We'll come over here and grab some slabs. That was 7, right? Yeah, and then 2 chests. My fault. All right, and then we'll do that. And I really like the beam texture for mangrove, but I like most of the textures in general, but I like the beams a lot. They kind of fit in, and I will grab a piece of calcite for the front face of this. And make sure that I have not left any mushrooms behind anywhere. I don't think so. If I had any, I know I've got these, but these are not in great quantities. Okay, yeah, that should do it. So then we'll do you with you and you. How did I get that right the first time? I always mess that one up. Yeah, that doesn't look terribly out of place. And then we will grab the shroom. Yeah, I knew it. We're gonna need an upgrade, but that is okay. I grabbed one. You're good to go. How would I remove a model from a multi-block? You don't want a model to render for the grinder. Okay, so when you form the multi-block crusher, you want it to work as the multi-block crusher, but not replace each individual six-sided cube with the one really weird hybridized. Here, I'm just gonna pull this up because I've played with this a little bit, but not to the degree that I think I can really help. But you don't want it to look like this. You want it to look like its components. If I'm following. Okay. Yeah, that one I don't know because the here, we can take a look at the desktop real quick. I know that this is not where I want it to be, but that's okay. I know that the models are, I think, odds immersive engineering. Models are stored as OBJ models, I believe. But I've got to remember. Hang on. Textures, transformations, block states, manuals, materials. It wouldn't be above models. Ah, thank you so much for the follow. Is that Curb? Curb1? Curb? I don't know. Hang on. So there is... I haven't used this in so long. I used to use JDGUI way back in the day, but I have not had to use it in a really long time. Oops, wrong window. Sometimes I find that this view helps a little bit. So if we look at models, there's an OBJ model for the crate and the bottling machine. I want to see... OBJ models are how usually things are done. Models, block... Oh, here we go. Metal multi-block. This is exactly what I was looking for. So I think... Can I open an OBJ in Blockbench? No. I guess I'll go grab Blender. OBJ model. I suppose it's probably just as quick to just use an online viewer. So in this case, we're looking at the crusher. And then the crusher has multiple components. So we're gonna save these to the downloads folder outside of this, if I can. So let's see, that was in Assets, immersive engineering, models, block, metal, multi-block, and then crusher. The upside is it. Okay, and that's the material for the crusher as well, I'm guessing. The upside is these are in the assets folder, which implies to me, I may be incorrect here. Do you have support for material files? J. That's whatever. So here you can see without the material. Can I import a material? Can I show edges? Is that going to be helpful? That is vaguely helpful. Here you can see the rough outline of that three-dimensional render of the crusher. No, it's all good. I like having these talks. These are fun talks. So you can see the different components that it gets made out of, and it's actually kind of cool seeing it like this, but I was really hoping that material would work. So what you would end up having to do is just replacing this crusher OBJ model. Now, the upside is, again, I really... crusher.mtl? Okay. I'm just going to grab Blender. I think that's going to be the easier way to do it. I should just have Blender anyway. I don't ever use it. I don't know how to use Blender. I'm not talented in the 3D space. I am understanding, especially even more so as of the last 3 years or so, of how to do a lot of these kinds of things. But since it's in the assets folder, in theory, assuming that Blue Sunrise implemented the asset loader for immersive engineering correctly, if you make a resource pack that overrides that OBJ file in your own resource pack, it should choose yours over the default one. I'm hoping. I can't guarantee that. Now, to answer your latter question is actually kind of an interesting point. So the way that I handle mods that don't do what I want them to do without a lot of configurability is Cube.js, because I have this weird faceted talent that sits somewhere between I know Java and Minecraft modding in Java. I also know JavaScript really well, and I know how to like fiddle through GitHub. So my answer for this is I use Cube.js a lot. But Cube.js does a lot of cool configuration things that you can do. So it's been around for a while. I know you tend to sit in 112 land for the most part, so I don't know if there's still a good way to do that. I've had situations in the past where the only way I could do is exactly what I wanted to do was to just go make a mod that did the one thing real quick, real small. That's why... what is it? There is a mod that I made for, yeah, here we go. Harmonious Engineering add-ons. Sad that I can't remember my own URLs. I made this 3 some odd years ago because I wanted to do, specifically I had the sprites that I made for better integral components, and I really liked them. And so I had built up all of these. Why are you like this? Why can't you just be normal for once, GitHub? Just do the thing. Fine, we're gonna open you in Windows Photo Viewer because somehow Windows Photo Viewer does a better job of maintaining scaling for small items. If I opened the same thing, this is just a small side tangent, but if I open the same thing in the Photos app, and then I zoom in on it, I don't even get to zoom in as much, first of all, and it's blurry. Explain yourself, Windows. You did it perfectly in Windows 7. Anyways, so I had all these Cube.js generated or items that I made sprites for in Cube.js, but I wanted them to actually work as integral components for thermal. So I went through and did exactly that. And so I've got, I couldn't do it with even Cube.js. So I just went through and said, hey, grabbed the COFH augment data helper and the augment item. I made custom integral components that went into some miscellaneous tab, put their MBT tags in like you're supposed to using the various libs and stuff. Basically, I just went and looked at how Thermal did it and called it a day, and that worked. So yeah, like sometimes you have to make a mod, but what I was going to show you, which is a little more cool, this is a thing that I had talked about at the very beginning of stream, in case you had missed it. I haven't looked at GroovyScript. Aether bushes, if you remember or saw at the beginning of stream, you normally have to left click these to break them, and then they spit back out as a bush stem. But the vanilla mechanism for bushes is you right click on them and they make this little sound and they pop out their item and then they go back into previous state. So using Cube.js, I did the same thing. And so the way that I did this, I will show real quick. The way that I did this was I have a quality of life tool for Aether bushes. And so I have the states. This is basically the fully grown state, and this is the, you should go back to this state when you're done. And then I iterate through all of these. And so we'll just pretend that this is replaced with this value here, right? So we can just do this. So on right click Aetherberry bush, if I'm not right clicking with my main hand, throw out the event, I don't care. Grab information about the block. So this get block returns a bunch of kind of not super helpful stuff unless you know what you're looking for. Probe.js is really useful for telling you kind of like information about things like what is the position or whatever. And so I go and get all the drops for the entity with their current held hand. So event.getEntity and event.getItem. If there aren't any drops, apparently this get drops returns, I was looking at this in Java. If this get drops returns null, then that means that we aren't, like somehow we're doing this on the client level, which you're not supposed to do. And then I go through each and every stack, or each and every item in the drop list, and I spit it out on the face that you right-clicked of the block. So if I right-click on the top of the bush, it'll spit out from the top. And if I spit out from the, if I right-click on this side, it'll spit out from that side. And so it's correspondent to what side you click on. And then the rest of the code is just set the block state to this state. Here's the play sound that you can do. So if you do play sound, you can just play the sound by its ID. So this is that sound. I also have it so you can get the sound type from the block itself, but the sound type from the block is that crunchy block breaking sound, so it's not as fun. I play the sound, I swing my main hand, pulling in this true flag here makes sure that even if I call this from the server thread, it will send a packet to the client telling the client to swing their arm. And then I tried the one fault in this that I haven't been able to solve in Cube.js that I can solve in Java as a mod is when I right click on this with like a backpack, I'll still open the backpack. In Java, calling event.setCanceled always works, and for some reason here it doesn't. So not perfect, but definitely a good way of making thing do what I want it to do. There's a lot of things like that. Another great example that I really hated, I wished that Zero's minimap had a setting to permanently disable the ability to show your coordinates in the like next to the minimap. Because in this pack, I specifically want you to use things like globes and altimeters to figure out your information. So reduce debug info is on by default, which means we can't see where we are. We can't use F3 to get anything beyond useful information. I can't even look at a block with F3. The idea is to bring back that, you know, baby's first Minecraft experience of I don't know where I am, I don't know what things are, and pretend that we don't have that fourth wall broken for us already, even though most of us do. So one thing that really bugged me was I really wanted to make it so that Zeros would always, at the very least, disable itself by default. And so you can, again, just because I know this weird hybrid of information, right? It's super strange the way that this works, but if I go look at Zero's minimap, I believe it is open source, but I can't remember. No, it is ARR. This was one of those mods that I did end up having to load up with with this tool, with the JDG UI or Java decompiler. So Zero Minimap has a couple of things that can be sometimes helpful. And so if we look at the Zero dot minimap, and then I'm just going to go based on what I know because that's easier. Dot Zero Minimap, which is this class, I try to get this class here. And if I can't get it, I'll get a null back. So I'm just going to quit because there's no sense in trying to go back and keep going. But there is a static instance variable in here, a public static instance. So that means that I can just grab it and refer to it, which is why this one's lowercase, which is kind of annoying to look at. Should have named that better. There, we'll do that. And then the Zero Global Instances has a get interfaces. So this has a private get interfaces. Oh, right. I think this extends HUD mod, which was the problem that I ran into. But I had to, what was it? It was really weird the way that I found out how to do this. What was it? Crap. HUD mod, here we go. And then HUD mod has a get interfaces method that is public, but it isn't static. So I had to get this static instance first, which is available all the time, anytime, and then call a not static method on it because HUD mod is a parent of Zero Minimap. That means that I can call HUD mod and grab the interfaces. And then this dot interfaces is called from the interface manager. And so zero common interfaces, interface manager, here we go, returns the ability for us to get a minimap interface. So this .mod main get minimap returns back the common mini. See, this is kind of a pain, but gets back the minimap interface. The minimap interface then has, and you can see I'm doing that, has a info display manager. So if we go to info, there is an info display manager, which I think comes from the minimap parent, if I remember correctly. Anyway, the info display manager has a way to get a given field, which I had to go figure out what the fields were, and then toggle it on and off. So all of this was literally to do the equivalent of settings, minimap settings, information settings, info display manager, and then click off on coordinates. And so every startup, it'll turn itself off by default, even if that's not the intention or if the player wants it on. I don't want it on for the player, so it'll be back on next restart. And you can turn it back on whenever you want. It doesn't force it on, it just sets it on every restart. So this was a pain to figure out, but there are ways to do these kinds of things. I did stupider stuff actually, I do want to save this. I did stupider stuff in Harmonious Engineering 3. No, 2 or 3. I wanted a portable woodcutter from the woodcutter mod. So what it did was 1 tick after you right-clicked it, it would make you sneak. And then 2 ticks after you right-clicked it, 1 tick after sneaking, it would open the, or it would right-click on the item you had originally right-clicked, and then it would 3 ticks after make you stop sneaking, because you could only open it portably if you sneak right-clicked it. It was weird. Anyways, all that tangent aside, to say there are ways to do things. First level is to use the tools around you. So you've got GroovyScript, which I've never used. You've got Craft Tweaker, which used to be really powerful. I haven't used it in years. No offense, I really hate it. For no reason except for the fact that it uses it does things in a weird way. Not even the implementation, just like using it as a someone who wants to modify a mod pack for scripting purposes or whatever, it just does things in a really weird order with the right angle braces and stuff that are generally used for generic type descriptions and stuff. So it's just a little bit strange as a programmer to come across it and use it the way that it's intended. Whereas with Cube.js, it's JavaScript, which I used to be and still kind of am a full stack developer. So but yeah, no, absolutely. I wish I could help more with specific examples, but I mean, I'm sure there are lots of ways to get things done like that that are a little bit atypical. And there's a lot of things that, like, getting into modding or just seeing if you can get something really small done through a mod sometimes may seem like the biggest pain in the butt way of doing it, but in the end will save you a lot of either performance or strife. Because sometimes it's just a matter of including, in your case, like Galacticraft, I think, if I remember correctly, had, I don't know if it still does, a really good API. And so, like, you know, stuff like that can be helpful. I mean, a great example, Geolysis used to have a craft tweaker and global API, but removing a built-in Pluton programmatically was not possible with Craft Tweaker, but was possible using the Java API because Craft Tweaker was so hard to write compatibility for. I also recently learned you can put a hopper on these guys so that you don't have to actually keep the thing in your offhand. Definitely not a result of me having to deal with stacks of wood the other day. Anyways, we do have a rice farm over here, by the way, if you had wondered where all the rice was coming from. It's now over here. Anyways, we're here for create things. We should create things. We need badly a couple of components. We need better energy production soon. I can think of a way to do a boiler with blood magic that would be kind of cursed, but kind of funny, which would involve only a little bit of brass tech, and I kind of think it would be fun. It would require that I make sure I always have enough life essence in my blood network, but it would work, and it would be funny. So that has me thinking just a little bit. Anyways, let's grab these these planks that were in here. And I do like the idea of having the centralized water stream. I just don't want it surface level. I want a block of glass. Oops. To cover this up first. So let's go grab some of that glass. I can't remember. I think I already have some. Yeah, I do. Also got some of these. Get ready to make more andesite alloy just in case, because we're probably going to need it. The answer is always to do the funny. Yeah, so we can use Blood Magic's various what are they called? The ritual for lava, which I can't remember the name of it. What is it? Spring? No, that's the... Well of Suffering is for later. We can't do Well of Suffering. We can do Well of Suffering. It just doesn't make sense to. Lava, Sigil, or Process. No, what was it? It is Serenade of the Nether. I don't know how I remember that. It's a very easy ritual to set up, and then it just spits out a block of lava right here, which you can then tell the conveyor, or you can probably... I think it's easier to pump it up than anything else. But that's easier than trying to transport lava from the Nether. Truth be told. But for now, we're just going to use 6 very large water wheels. And I want to grab some more of these sunroot planks, because I know I've got them. And I should grab some lighting, just in case. Not even just in case, because I know I'm going to need it. It's part of why I've gotten really into doing magic and tech mods together, like this pack, is just the ability to do something in just tech is fine. Kind of boring, but fine. The ability to do something in just magic is fine, but it has its limitations. But there's that crossover that we all as a community hit years ago and had nothing to perfect upon, but we did anyways. To be honest, it was a good time back when we didn't care about the balance too much. And I still think about that every now and then. So what we're going to do is we're going to have multiple layers here. Sorry, I'm having to think, which, as you all know, is not easy. I do struggle with the think. I'm actually going to go ahead and get rid of this glass for now. Just these 3x3 center ones, because it's going to be really annoying otherwise. I am going to put lights right here in these 4 corners. And then we will repeat. This is hurting my brain. Why is this hurting my brain so much? Hang on. Why don't we do this a little more easily? Let's get rid of this for now. And then what we're going to do... I realized this is going to be just really boring looking if I do it this way. Let's do a bunch of framed glass. And then we will have layers here and here. Yeah, 1.7.10 was definitely very much Wild Westy, kind of do whatever you wanted to for the longest time. And then we just kind of, I think as a community, we all got a little bit tired of that. We all kind of realized, hey, sometimes doing tech mods with Botania is hella broken, just saying. Which, again, to each their own. I think right now, like, especially on mod packs that I play with friends, friends don't care about Overpowered as much as I do, because I play this game tremendously, like, just oh so frequently. So I care, and I think about these things a lot, and my game designer brain goes off a lot too. But, you know, they don't have to care. They don't care. I think that's perfectly fine as well. I should have grabbed a different block. I'm thinking I needed a darker block, like a spruce or dark, maybe even dark oak, actually. Sure, I built the bridge, but I never said I planned on using it. Okay, let's see. We've got you. That does work. I'm going to grab dark oak just in case. I also really want to make yellow glazed terracotta work in a way. This was one of the things that I found from the trial chamber, so I'm just, or not trial chamber, the trailway, trails and trail run, I don't remember what the heck it's called. Whatever, you get the point. So I'm thinking maybe I messed up here. Because I do think this might be an obnoxiously bright color when it's next to all these other bright lights. I don't need the center. And I do like that idea a lot. Maybe we do it a little bit of both. A little into the ground, a little above the ground. Because I can move this, but I'd rather not have to move that lantern. But if I do lights in the corners, then it won't really matter, will it? Might be onto something. I used to do stuff like that a lot, actually. Things that did not look like reactors, making them look like reactors, because you can, so why not? I have a hoe. What am I doing? Here, actually, this reminds me. Let me find it first before I cut over to it. I think it was this one. Is it this one? No, this one we did actual reactors on. Then it was this one. Here it is. Hey. Okay. So, just a weird thing. I don't know. Maybe I'm strange. Who cares? I know I'm strange. I, for some reason, have a collection on Reddit where I used to do just a simple Imgur album of here's what our server was like. It was really fun. Here's a screenshot of everyone's bases, and they had commentary with them and whatever. So this, I think, was 1.7 or 1... No, this would have been 1.7. Maybe 1.8, but I'm pretty sure it was 1.7. And we had the TARDIS mod, so people would regularly go in their TARDIS and build around and do whatever. Also, lava can power a water wheel. Fun fact. These were... modular power suits. My love. This was my place, and I did that reactor thing you were talking about. We had big reactors, I think, in this world, but I liked having that look of, like, just do not touch. This is a bad idea. So these were the immersive thermoelectric generators with pyrotheum and cryothium in a straight line. Forgot how I made this house look. And then this was a village. We used to reserve ender chests by color before you could put a diamond on them. So I built a big ender chest, and then inside were just a bunch of people's public ender chest channels where you could go pick who got what channel. And then the generic, like, triple color one would be the one where you could be gifted stuff. This was the outside of one of my builds. These were the times, man. Things were interesting. I don't even remember why that's there. Things were interesting back then. Man. So yeah, having this was just... Having these collections of old photos are just fun. I've got one from 2014 and 2015 and one from... Two from 2015 and then one from 2016, which was 1.8 for sure. 2014, I think, was 1.6. But it could have been 1.7. I don't remember what version of Mistcraft had those textures. But yeah, man, like, it was... Things were different. We had one user who would always make a villager farm and turn them into emeralds. Those poor fellas. Anyways, been very tangentially inclined today. That there for now. I'm still not going to have enough glass. Shoot. Well, this is still enough for demonstration, but I do like this. I think what it feels like it's missing to me is metal girders. Easy. I'm glad I have these photos. I completely forgot I had them. I went and downloaded them all individually from Imgur when I found them. Oh yeah, I was complaining about not having enough honey for one of the recipes. I have enough honey now. 96 buckets of it, to be exact. But I have no way of pumping it out because these tanks don't let you just right-click on them to get the fluid. Which isn't something I forgot. What I forgot was to get the copper casing that I need in order to make a spout, I need deploying, which was create progress that I didn't want to make without you guys. Or at least, I didn't want to completely say, hey, I'll be back with more create stuff and then come back having done a pretty integral step to the progression line. So I was like, okay, fine. I guess I'm waiting. Grab more glass. And right, I wanted to do girders, which I don't have any iron already made. That's fine. I could do it the Ember's way, but I don't want to. That's expensive. So we're missing 3. And then what we can do is here in the middle, we can... We're going to put that there. Here in the middle, we can put a series of shafts that go down and or up. Probably down for now so that I can gear ratio them first. Actually am going to preserve that because that was relatively helpful. No sadness at all. I will probably see you over at your stream when I'm done here. Have a great stream. I'm going to make one more. What am I missing? It is not you, it is a cogwheel, right? I've forgotten how to make a water wheel. What is wrong with me? Oh, no, I was right. It's just these are not an appropriate plank. Apparently. I also made this too small. I need a lot more glass. Whoop. Huh. Or do I need more trapdoors? Thinking what I really need is trapdoors. I mean, technically it will work like this. I don't know. This does give like an older, like, you were supposed to be my pickaxe. I wish it would not replace my held item. I find that very irritating, Mr. Backpacks. This gives like a better than wolves vibe that I'm really liking the more I think about it. And then if we had girders in the corners, and then see my current, maybe a spiral channel, maybe. Also, hello Butterbits. This also makes me wonder now. Is this considered a block where water can be to make it run? Okay, it is not. I would have thought that would be really funny if it was. And so now it makes me a little concerned. If I can pull that off, or if I'm really going to need to do trapdoors, which I think I might. Well, that's okay. Because we have all of these sunroot planks that I don't need. And then I can do, I have so much sand and glass. We are a-okay on those things. So we could do something like this. And then we would get rid of these. And this gives us enough room for water to pass through. And we can always do... something like that. I'm just gonna send it. I'm gonna see how that works. And if I like it, yay. If I don't, we'll mess with it. This is why we're here. Also, not me having the realization that I'm once again going to be running out of trapdoors. I hate how expensive these trapdoors are sometimes. They aren't that bad, but I like them a lot, so I build with them all the time. And I'm like, ah, crap, I forget that it takes like, what is it, 3 logs for 2 trapdoors? So much log waste just to add a hinge to a pressure plate, basically, or even a half slab if you want to be a little extra about it as far as the measurements go. But it's whatever. Part of the goal of having this here and set up is that we can start to get into some of the machinations and formulations for a decent, probably not perfect, but at the very least decent tree farm, because I need to automate the process of receiving trees. I have automated the bees, now I need to automate the trees. I do like the spiral channel idea, though. My brain hurts thinking about how I would do that, but I like it. I have way too much dark oak. Become trapdoor. And actually, yeah, I do. If I can get these all to face the same way, that would make my OCD very happy. So we're looking at something kind of vaguely, sort of, maybe slightly somewhat like this. And I do, man, I cannot stop thinking about that spiral channel idea. I think that's going to be sick. So I think I'm going to have to do it. I think I have to do it. And I'm not even, like, I know how to do it. I just need to do it. I don't really... Okay, let's do something first. Let's get these out of here so I can easily get around. I'm going to make... We have 7 here, right? I'm going to make 7... Why did I do it like this? Water is infinite, you dingus. And I guess I'm only making 6, but I'm going to make water buckets rather than relying on the sigil, because the sigil is going to make it difficult to clean up a mess that I make if I, in fact, did not mean to make it. So what I'm thinking is we can do like 2 blocks per channel. So we could do 1 there. You know what? That actually would make a lot of sense to get rid of these guys so that I can just really easily think this through. Go on, get out here. There we go. So we'll do a spiral channel from there. Then I need a way. Do I do a fancy spiral channel or do I do a lazy spiral channel? How different does the effect look at the end of the day? Because I could be really lazy and do... something like this. So we would have you here. You here. Ooh, it's making me a little bit dizzy. You here. You here. And then you here. Does that give the effect, the illusion that I'm looking for? Sort of, but not quite as much as I had hoped. But if I containerize these two blocks, see, this is why I wanted the water buckets. Okay, so if I can, where was I? I was containerizing these, but I should really start from the top. Oh man, okay, so let me think. We do from here to here in such a way that no water spills. As it goes from here to here. See, and that is giving the effect that I was hoping for, so that's good. Out of trapdoors again, huh? Shoot. I think this one might be thwarted. This one, as much as I like how it looks, I don't know if it's going to be as easy to pull off as I'd hoped. I do love the way that it just goes all around in a circle. Things are getting a little complex, though. I may fiddle with this more. The other thing that I'm concerned with, as much as I do want this to look really cool, I'm also painfully aware of the fact that there is a non-zero likelihood that this will be replaced with a a water boiler at some point. So it's like, this is all, to some degree, not 100%, but to some degree it's temporary and it will go away in time. really liked the way that that looked. That was neat. That was a really good suggestion. Hello? Can you not? Thank you. Okay. We will do this. Come on. Work with Mimi. Yeah, I thought that that would, I was pretty sure that those wouldn't occlude light, but I couldn't remember. All right, so that's everything there. And then we can still do the partitioned layout that we were talking about doing. I still like that. I'm gonna go grab some blocks that I can use better for this. I think I've got some copycats that are going to be pretty good. These panels are excellent. I love them. And then what we can do... I almost want to incorporate brick into this in some way. Like erode the brick down a little bit even. So we'll play with that. These are just temporary water wheels. I'm getting way too into this, but... what fun is life if you don't get way too into little goofy things? Yeah, I know you're mad. I know you're mad. Water doesn't go that way. Whatever. Get over yourself. Bricks are fun. Yeah, that does give a little bit more of an ominous vibe that I kind of dig. Just gives it that industrious vibe, I guess, is really what I'm thinking of. But especially with the moody lighting, really helps pull it all together. Okay, and now we need to still partition these guys off a little bit. So what we can do for that... is we can use these guys. These tend to really enjoy not working the way I want them to. I find that that is how I end up having to place them. But it is a-okay. Because once you place them, you can then just do this. And so what I'm thinking, what's coming to mind at the moment, is that I need to fix my posture. Holy. We add some noise. That isolates these a little bit, and then we can do, like... these are just temporary, by the way. Don't worry about it. As I was just griping about, these are terrible to place. So then this will be where the next one goes. So now from the outside, these all look containerized to some degree. which is exactly what I want. What I don't want is to have to keep dealing with how these copycat panels place, but that's okay. We don't have to do a ton with them. So we'll place those on top, and then for the next rotation around, I can just keep placing these like so, which is really nice, actually. Yes, okay. I want to make sure that those were placed the right way. Sorry. I know this is really disorienting to look at. So then the next water stream will be here. So we've got, these are going the wrong way. Hang on, my brain's backwards. Is it backwards? No, it's fine. Hang on. I'm thinking this is going the wrong way, but no, it's actually the right way. So now what I need becomes a problem, because I need... this, but it's on the bottom half. So I think what I was just doing works, but it only works for so long. Gosh. I'm once again overthinking the channel design. We YOLO it. We're just doing the one. These water wheels are too big to work around. It's getting old. We will make this look as cool as we can in other ways. And again, it's all temporary. I really don't need to fuss with it too much. Because realistically, at the end of the day, all these ever check for are that they have hit some degree of water. So what we can do, I'm really just making my life a little bit easier here. That's all I'm doing at the moment. I want the light to still peek through as much as it can, at least. And these suck to place, so I'm just going to do it like this. And then I'll break whatever I don't need, because that takes way less time. What we can do is we can do 2 different streams on each side. And I think... can't remember, so I'm going to try this out, and we're going to see how that goes. Does this spread? No, it does not. Okay, that is perfect. So we will do 4 water streams from up top. Get rid of these extras that I don't need. Make these into slabs. Slab those up. So we still have the water. It's just on the bottom side, falling downwards, which is exactly what we want. It's not spreading, which is also what we want. This is going to allow light to bleed through these seams, which is what I want. Through specifically these seams. I cover these back up in their original blocks. So that's 3 of those, 3 of those. And those go down there. And there. I think I can do this, and that shouldn't break anything. Beautiful. We, again, still have some ambient light coming out of that. Perfect? Nah, far from it. Good enough? Sure. Again, fully temporary build, so there's kind of... I'm spending too much time on this. Now... Oh. Hang on. Do you need asymmetry in your water sources? Am I misremembering? Never mind. None of this works. Crap. Because of course it doesn't. Of course. Okay, so then instead of that, we scrap that, and we don't do that. Fortunately, I can get these and turn them back into full blocks. That's not a big deal. One, two, three, four. It is create that you see. How it go, madman? I'm really struggling with this one too. Gosh. I still really like the idea of that stupid spiral staircase. It's not stupid. It's a great idea. I don't know why I called it stupid. Butterbits, your idea was really good, and now it's bugging me that I can't come up with a sensible way of doing it. Okay, I'm just going to be super duper lazy. We're just going to do this the lazy way. Do that. We'll do that. Then we will go back a block. We will do that. I'm struggling with building today, and it sucks. This sucks. Normally, I don't put my very temporary water wheels out in the open like this, but I am today, and I am coming to regret it step by step. Then we will put another solid floor for the next level up, because that's the thing I'm having to think about. The next level up. Why did you place this way? Why, of all times, have you decided to place that way? So we'll do that. And then ground level for the next one. I need to clean up my hotbar. This is a mess. Hang on. Then we put the next one down, because these do occlude water somewhat. And we do another layer down this way. Sometimes this world is all about magic so far, so it's just been like fine, but not very machinations oriented, and I think that's what's messing with my head, is I just haven't done anything like this in a minute. But these need to be solid blocks here. If they aren't, then the water will flow down and cause a mess. This is already working really well. I just need more water. I have the infinite water making water of the waterness, but it is sometimes jank. I also need to change these, because I don't like these. Yeah, I've got this guy that gives me infinite water. I just don't trust it to not be stupid. with I'm purposefully waterlogging a block, so it's like I don't trust you too much to not be the dumb. So right now, let's see, it spirals down to here, keeps going up and around, and then here's where I need water. What have you been up to as of late? And then my last water source goes right here. Like so. And then I'm going to manually erode some of these. I do want that brick back, though, so don't go anywhere. Something sort of like that would work. Do we want to change the wood type? Whoop. That, is it not that? Is it the plank? Am I misremembering? It's the plank. Well, I don't like that wood type. Dark oak doesn't look bad. All right. Dark oak, definitely the way to go there. And I know what to do. Let's do framed slabs. One. And you know what? That's fine. You can break. I don't really care. Just let me have that back, but whatever. Right, so I need a layer of slabs here. And then we'll do the clinker brick and that there, and we'll put the water back. Yeah. Yeah, I should have thought about that. Okay. Shit. Right now I'm just trying to make a good place for power, but I'm rewarding myself constantly, trying to make it look kind of half not ass, and really struggling with this one. So right now we're going to remove all the water, replace these glass trapdoors with slabs, and then replace the water wheels, and then we should be good. Because I don't like the lines of these trapdoors from the outside, and I think I would much prefer that they look better. So we'll do slab, slab, crap. And then as we do these, we can retexture them. And then we will do what we just did a minute ago with the layers that we had of water. Okay, so we will do, really want to lean kind of into the terracotta because there's active flowing water over a lot of this. So it's going to really erode any bricks you had down to just about nothing. And so now we have a multi-phase process. Phase 1 is to regret using all of my dark oak because now I don't have any, and now I have to undo this guy too. Okay. Good God. We were actually just talking about that. Yo, I don't know if I've shown you this before. Way back in the day, I used to keep an archive of all of our Forge serves and do like a little tour for Reddit. They were usually small scale, just would talk about like, here's these builds that I did. And so like, and usually it was like a lot of other people's builds too. So I'd explain like what was going on and who was doing what. And they were like just mostly for fun, but like we did this shit a lot and it was really fun. And so I found those while I was browsing through my Reddit profile like 6 months ago. And I downloaded all of them because they were on Imgur. I yoinked them immediately. Is that Red Power Flax? Gosh. I can't remember. I do vividly remember this server though. So this was from 2014. And then yeah, we were talking about... I used to do this. Where it like kind of looks like a reactor, but it's just cryogens and stuff. I don't know. It might be in one of these. I might also still just have that world. I keep an archive of all the servers we have. So I've got all of these worlds from throughout the years with like their dates and stuff. So I keep everything as much as I can. Anyways, yeah, this world was sick. Mark's had the huge turbine that ran off of a boiler that he fueled with the remains from scrap boxes. This was his scrap box setup that he made. And then he came over to my base and started building a huge ship. This was my base. And he was like, I'm just going to build a big ship back here. And he never finished it. This was all my base, which I loved. This was in the deep dark. This was Sammy's, like, potato room. Then Isaac had, like, his huge tower. There's this room that I always loved to do that was, like, really basic. These are super out of order. I think this was Isaac's as well, because he always loved this blue plating style. Oh, the one with the dinosaur mod. Yes, that would be... I'm pretty sure that would be this one from this time last year. This... Yeah, these are like super old. This was the server. Was it this server? No, I think I'm thinking of this one. This server somewhere? No. Shit, which one was it? I know I've got photos of it around here. Isaac copied my design because he liked it so much. I think it was this server. Just gotta find it. Oh, man. I think this was also you. And then Mark's built this big-ass house. And then when he left, we covered it in leaves to make it look like decayed. And then just a random nuclear reactor in the ground. Don't mind that. What do I have in my hotbar? Are those meat bricks? Those are probably meat bricks. Why am I using the Faithful 32 resource pack? Well, this one's from all the way back in 2015, so this would have been like one of your first servers with us. And then this is where Mason lived, and Mason... Oh, the Cave of Ordeals. I think Josh made this. Mason caused the great calamity of, where is it? I need a closer photo of it. God, these are so out of order. Screw it. Mason caused the great calamity of Black Tony was murdered. Yeah, right here. In this corner, he had an alembic that overflowed. Yes, Mason Morton. And I have this screenshot from when the event occurred. Tony was a black sheep. We called him Black Tony. The alembic is empty. The alembic, now filled with Black Tony, is almost empty. I keep this photo around free of charge. It's mine. I found that photo from Google Hangouts. God. So yeah, no, having these old photos around, super fun. All of that turned into flux really quick. I forgot about that. And these were those Tinker's paper stones that would just make you zoom. But yeah, the tech servers were always fun. It's just, I don't know, shit changes. By shit, I mean specifically like the kind of the tech that we have now is different. And the progression is different, and people want to do quest lines a lot of times, so we have to kind of make considerations for that as we go. Anyways, we are on a quest. Ooh, I hate that. That couldn't be any worse. Screw it. I'm gonna go get Dark Oak. Good stuff. Oh, I wonder how Illwood would look, actually. Let me see. Yoink. Let's grab Illwood and Dark Oak. So we've got... Okay, that kind of looks sick. I'm not gonna lie. Because it's like... I don't know. I'm gonna have to see it in context. I think that's gonna be too gray. As good as that looks, I think the red in the Dark Oak is gonna look much better. I think it does. Yeah, dude, that was... I think that was before I started doing the screenshots, because I did the screenshots like right as I started working at the FSL, because I would just be bored at work and have nothing to do but put together a screenshot tour of the server, because I didn't want to like do a video tour. I was at work. These were the times. Times are always different. I think the difference is like nowadays it's really hard to keep everyone's attention on a server. That's the thing. Like Isaac's on all the mod server right now. Everyone's been playing that one a lot lately. I should probably play it when I'm done here, and I probably will. But the servers used to be just kind of self-maintaining. Someone would always hop on and do the thing or play or do whatever, whereas like now it almost feels like we're all adults, with some of us with kids, and all just being busy and having things to do, and so it's like no one has time anymore. Or when they do have time, they don't want to spend it on this game, and I can't say that I totally blame them 100%. I'm trying to think if I like that. I don't know if I do. I might actually really like the way, like a bit of bolstering. What? How do these place? Why do these place so stupidly inconsistently? I swear to God, I'm gonna scream. They place relevant to... Wait, is it relative to you? Are you kidding me? Blocks should not place like this. Minecraft has a format for how you place sided blocks like that, and this has never stuck the way that, this way, rather. So maybe, do I bolster with normal terracotta or a mix? Yeah, no, that's fair. And again, like, I get it. I'm also the guy who's always playing a Minecraft, so it's like, kind of not sad or annoying or anything. It's just like, hey, you have a Minecraft server? Definitely. No one's been on it for ages. That's just how it is. While I'm here, before I forget, because I will forget, I want to play with these, because these are similarly strange, but I know I can do cool things with them. I just have to remember how. Oh, yeah, no, for sure. It's what I do. There it is. This is what I wanted to do, because I think that looks sick. And we're going to bolster it. And then all of this is going to go away not very soon, but I have a means of producing infinite lava, and I'm going to do it. And once I do, the practicality of this is going to go very far away. No, stop that. What is it, like this? Or is it, am I off? Is it like this? It's like that, okay. Weird. I can consolidate those later. Brick variants that would look fun include these guys as well, actually. That's what I really should be doing. These corners, these points are fun. Forgot all about these. I just have to make sure I put them quickly. So this is actually just a single player that I put together for fun more than anything. This is a mod pack that I've been designing for a really long time, like over a year now. And the premise of it is you start out with just magic. So here, if we look through the quest book, there's more quests than you're able to see by default. There's a ton of quests in the quest line, but they're hidden so that you don't know what's next until you get through it. So there's a couple of like quality of life things, and then you get into some adventure. If you struggle to find certain structures, you can pay levels to get a map that will take you to those structures, like that will show you where those structures are. And then you get started by doing simple like raising mechanisms that are kind of interesting and kind of strange. which get you some really powerful things, such as the cloak that I'm wearing right now. This guy basically gives me these hops that I do. So here, if I come outside, I can hop multiple times, up to 10 times. But if I press and hold, I can start to fly. Only for a limited time. It's not like, it's very much like Electroflight, but after a while I stop flying until I press space again. You basically just lose momentum until you flap your wings again. So it offers a lot of fun utility. It also is how we enchant by default in this pack. The vanilla enchanting table does not work, and you have to enchant using souls. So I'm going to go over to where that is all set up at, because that's a fun place to go while I sit here and talk. So let's see, you've got that. Got a really long minecart. Once you get into Eidolon, as you get things from before you're supposed to be, let's say like I get something from some mod at the end of the mod pack. If I get that before I've gotten that far down the progression tree, it's going to convert into an item that is unusable. It basically converts it into a brand new different item. And then once I get to that point in the pack, it unbecomes that useless item and goes back to what it was before I picked it up, or from before it converted itself to a useless item. So that way you can't skip the progression. Like you have to follow it pretty closely. Yes, and it does. That's exactly where I'm getting. So you have to go through basically 4 chapters. You've got the Aether, which is mostly just exploration, or exploration rather, and running around. You have Blood Magic, which is a skippable chapter if you don't like self-harm. This, by the way, is where our Blood Magic and Embers and everything else is, because up here at the top, there are 12 skeleton spawners. 12 of them. This was a structure that I fully tore down and then fully rebuilt again. So down here, I've got my blood altar with all of its upgrades. As you get into, like, if I wanted to do infinite mob farms, I could make a soul cage. These are made through the altar. And then you get into the ability to make the Tinker's Hammer. Once you get the Tinker's Hammer, you can start to make your first metals. So there's a lot of like cross recipe integration. So I guess what I really mean is the blood altar is how you get into blood magic. That requires things from the Aether and things from Eidolon, which is the mod that gives me the cool wings. So the Aether carved stone you just get by exploring the Aether. The altar is an Aether thing. Then you get the blood altar. Then through the blood altar, you can craft all sorts of things, honestly. And through the quest tree, things like arcane gold that previously sucked to make, like this recipe actually is a bigger pain than it looks, becomes easier. Like as you progress through the tech and magic tree, things that used to be difficult become easier to do. So once you go here, this is like a dungeon dimension. You can get what you need, which is a Hellforged ingot. And these Hellforged ingots are how you make the Tinker's Hammer. And the Tinker's Hammer is everything you need to get into the Embers mod. And so going upstairs, we have my Eidolon space. So this is where I've got my altar. This has my enchanting. This enchanting system, by the way, part of why I like it, you get to pick what enchantments go on. You just have to have enough levels and enough Silk Touch. You have to have enough levels and enough of these soul shards, which you get by killing various enemies with the soul scythe that I don't have on me anymore. Where'd that go? Anyways. Going up another floor, this is where my very simple Ember setup is. I don't really care for this mod a ton. I like it okay, but it gets boring after a while, so I did the very bare minimum to get enough into Embers, and then I called it a day. So the Tinker's Hammer is required to get into Embers a little bit, and then this guy, how do I phrase this? This guy will take your Ember and power these machines, these pseudo machines that are like it's a Magitech mod, so this is like the perfect bridging point. This guy will melt iron ingots into molten iron, molten iron, and then these fluid extractors will pipe the molten iron into a stamp base with a ingot stamp on it, and then I put a piece of andesite in there, and if I look at the andesite alloy recipe, we'll see exactly what I mean here. So this is the same recipe. 90 millibuckets of molten iron is one whole ingot, by the way. So one ingot and one andesite gets you one andesite alloy, and that is how you get into Create. Now, once you get into create, again, going back to that things are a pain in the butt until they aren't, 3 machines in, you can now suddenly use zinc or iron ingot, nuggets rather, not ingots, to make your andesite alloy. So it becomes 9x efficient, and you can start to use a resource that you didn't even have a use for previously, except for building. Zinc didn't have a big use otherwise. So now you've shifted all of your expenses and all of your pain somewhere else. From create, the quest line then takes me down and down and down and down. So now the next mod that I need is pneumatic craft. I already have hosted this mod pack on a server. I haven't done that recently. Maybe after all the mods is done, I may rehost this once I'm done. Because right now I'm playing this pack a lot because I'm working on updating it pretty massively. Not like a complete overhaul, but definitely a lot of cleanup and a lot of optimization and quality of life stuff. So once I'm done with once everyone is done on the all the mods server, I think I may host this one again. We will see. But the next gateway after create is pneumatic craft. And so pneumatic craft is going to require, by the way, this is what happens when you have these items that you don't know how to use. You haven't unlocked them. You'll get this little text that says you lack the knowledge to use this. And if I got one, like if I went into cheat mode and gave myself a huge fluid tank, for example, I did go into cheat mode, didn't I? Oh, I hit revert. If I gave myself a large fluid tank, it converted into a pneumatic artifact. And now I don't know how to use this. You lack the knowledge to use this. And then if I do tag Oshishose add ENC, boom, now it turned back into what it was before, and those go away. And I can just remove that tag, and it'll be back to the way it was. So the quest system unlocks these tags for you, which is why it's here. So to get into pneumatic craft, your gateway, your entry is the compressed iron ingot, which you can only get one of 2 ways. You can get it by crafting it like this. So this makes you do most of the create mod to the max, at least. Did I turn off cheat mode? I did not. This makes you do most of create to the max, and then you have to do superheated with the blaze burner, with the blaze cake, which kind of sucks to do. It sucks to automate. It's not bad to do once or twice. Combined with TNT and a block of iron, that gets you your compressed iron, then you can uncraft that into the standard iron, and that is what gets you there. And then once you have it, this recipe no longer works. This is like a recycling recipe, really. But this recipe will still work, and so you can get through it, and then through pneumatic craft, you can do bit by bit more and more stuff, and then essentially you get to a point where you unlock the thermopneumatic processing plant, to which you can combine ash and molten iron. Once again, this is, so 10 millibuckets is 1 nugget. You can combine molten iron and ash to make a steel nugget, and steel nuggets are your gateway into mechanism. And then once you get into mechanism, steel nuggets are your gateway into industrial, or immersive engineering. Shit, I forgot. And then immersive engineering gives you the ability to make steel in easier bulk using the standard blast furnace recipe. And then now I have to remember, because I don't remember, there is it the arc furnace that you need? No, that's right. You need duroplast. So you need to make enough phenolic resin. Yeah. So you need to, create's super fun. It's one of those things where I like having other mods that kind of hold your hand before you get there. So by the time you get into create, you have things that make some components of the mod less of a pain in the butt, but not completely. But yeah, you have to like do the automation for refinery to get the phenolic resin. Phenolic resin then has to be bottled. You get duroplast blocks. Then you can get steel casings from mechanism. Boom. Finally, now you're in mechanism. And even then you can see these recipes use a lot of other components from other mods. Like you can't make a basic control circuit until you make one of these, which requires the transistors, which you, come on, fix yourselves, guys. Usually they fix themselves. There we go. Which you can craft in the engineer's workbench. Like you can see, it goes deep. A lot of these recipes are far from the vanilla, far from default. And that's kind of the goal, the point. And now that I've done all this yammering, there's going to be a bunch of guys down here. Is my scythe down here? Here's my scythe. This is how you get those, I have Sweeping Edge. This is how you get these soul shards, by the way. It's really satisfying. That's why I have 1,800. Gosh, that caught me totally off guard. That's why I have 1,800 of those. That's like, they're super easy to farm in bulk. Oh, gosh. So yeah, like I've just got a bunch of quality of life mods in here too, so it's not all doom and gloom. A lot of fun building, a lot of fun exploration. I don't even want this XP. Can I, do you pick up faster if I do this? Somewhat. Holding your tome in your hotbar will make it go straight into the tome, which is helpful, but even then, only somewhat. We have so many levels. So yeah, that's kind of why things are spread out the way they are. The goal, like we have waystones and things, but waystones, the reason I have a minecart is because waystones are made inversely expensive. And that'd be fun. Wouldn't be terribly difficult to do that. I have to think about it. Yeah, it's just Steve and I currently chatting. Hello, Firebush. How goes it? So yeah, no, like overall, the pack is meant to incline you to do things you probably wouldn't normally do. Like there is no mending. You have to repair using anvils, but the expense increase in anvils has gone away. So it always costs the same amount of XP each time you repair. Minecarts are encouraged, but they're made 2 times faster. Or, sorry, 1.5 times faster. The, what else? What else? Tons of building mods, tons of quality of life things that aren't gated. Like, really, it's just the main progression is what gets gated. And so that's part of why I like streaming this pack is because I can do the main progression, like getting infrastructure built up with you guys. And then when I'm done, I still have a bunch of stuff that I can go do on my own. Now that I've unlocked certain new infrastructure. So it's actually a data pack technically, but it's found in Modrinth. It is called... Hang on, let me find the name of it, because it's got a name that I'm not super familiar. Darceno's Minecarts. I will send you a Modrinth link right now in the Twitch chat. Yeah, I do think that looks better. We will get rid of these for now. I don't know if I like the idea of the bolsters or not. We'll see. My wife is making a ruckus, and I don't know if I should be concerned. All right, let's grab all of these blocks back into my magnetic backpack. Yes, I am. It is twitch.tv/oh, it's just Jose. So what do I have that will give that bolstering look that I'm looking for, that I'm thinking of? I have no idea what my wife is making, but she's making something. There are these iron plates from Quark that I could make. There's tread plate as well that I think might match the vibe a little more. I always forget about Architect's Palette, but it's so pretty. Let's give these a try. I don't know. Screw it. So I'm thinking like... Oh, I didn't. put those in my offhand? Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, it's definitely faster. I don't know if I'm sold on that yet. Iced coffee, that's what she was making. That's the look I'm looking for. The plating block itself is what I was wanting. Okay. Let's do some reinforcement then, because I like how that looks. And these happen to be the same thickness as the trapdoors, which is very satisfying. Mala, are you just being a critter? Ma'am, that is birch plywood. That is for a project that I'm waiting on parts from Home Depot for. Stinky dog. She was just sitting there licking it. I'm like, it's just mind your own business. Mala is now being threatened by my wife. So now begs one more question that I want to try out. Do we like the even, or do we want some odd spacing in there? I think that's the way. I did all this for nothing. Well, okay, not all of this. I did 2/3 of this for nothing. Whatever. I am struggling. Look, the technicalities of building this is very easy. The structural components of this, of making this look good, are going to possibly bring me to my end. Anyways, we're almost done. And then we can start to work on gear shifting this up and getting power to the rest of the warehouse or the factory or whatever the heck I'm calling this. Yep, that's the vibe. There we go. We found it. Took us only all stream, but we're here. We found it. And so now if we just dig directly underneath this, we have one very slowly spinning shaft. All of this can go in here. That's fine. Ooh, gosh. Okay, so now that that's there, I need to hook up a couple of machines for sure. I need to get this chunk loading as well, because there was a chunk loader in the middle here, and y'all saw that, right? It showed the wrong tooltip for just a split second. Also, sir, your model is showing its seams. And these are spinning the wrong, like, opposite directions, but at the same speed. I kind of love this. Hang on, this kind of drives me nuts in a way that I'm here for. This is funny. Anyways, so I've got a bunch of stuff in here and in the other place that I need to grab things from. Let's grab everything from the create mod that is not building related. Put it in the other room. There we go. So this bag is for automating things. There are things that I need automated. I need to make a deployer. To make a deployer, I'm going to need some other bits and bobs. So if we take a look at the crafting tree, I love EMI for its crafting tree. This recipe is fine. We already have plenty of those. We need the electron tube, which means we need... Excuse you? Iron sheet. Which means we need this recipe. We don't need that recipe, but that's the one that I choose. We need polished rose quartz, which means we need sandpaper. And we need a brass hand, which means we need yep and yep. And yep. And there you go. That's the crafting tree. And then you can just keep this queued up here all the time, anytime, and it'll highlight in blue things that you're going to need. So I can skip, like, it's going to show me that you're going to need certain things, like for the brass. But since I already have brass, I can just grab those. And now those go away as a whole. Love EMI for that. EMI being very real for that. So we need to get our mixer hooked up. We need to get power probably upstairs as well. Why don't we do that? Why don't we figure out where we're going to do the power? Or where we're going to do these crafts in? Because we're going to need... We have a depot. We're probably going to need several other depots. And I like the vibe of this room a good bit, so I might have the... See you, man. Take care. Thanks for hanging out. I will let you know if that becomes a thing. We've got you here. Firebush, I appreciate the follow. Thank you so much. We have our mechanical mixer that can go right there. I do have a blaze burner as well that I'm going to put right here. Part of why I chose this spot over here was because I knew that there was not going to be a basement directly underneath, and I can just barely reach that, but I had a framed block that I really liked to put in front of there. Let's go grab that. Let me also clean up the framed blocks that I have, because I don't need them anymore. Let's see, those can go there, and then... What is the framed block shape that I really liked? It was this guy, right? So if I convert these into slabs, I can do 3 slabs into... No, I can't. I need... That's a jank recipe. I mean, I know that math is hard, so I'm not really gonna moan and groan about that too much, but... This has a very nice shape for just barely reaching into the blaze burner. And sure, what the heck, we've got them. We may as well use them. Yeah, that looks good. So yeah, that needs to be powered in a way that does not look terrible. As does this. So now, what I'm thinking is we have... I know we have... Yeah, I was going to say, I know we have a section not too terribly far. And then what we can do is we can have you here. Oh, but then that's going to make you go away. I don't want to do that. Maybe we just keep this easy for now. I'm struggling with making things both pretty and functional at the same time today. So maybe we just focus on functional. We'll just have wall and basin. And mixer here and metal press here. And what we can do is we can use encased chain drives. We've got the gears already, or the shafts already. We've got one vertical gearbox. I think I can make another one still. Doesn't really matter what way they're routed. I don't really care. And we can do one, two, three, four, five, like so. I don't like how this looks, but it is what it is right now. Part of why I want to make some metal girders to help offset a little bit. And do I still have those copycat panels? I do indeed. So we will just put a panel there. And it makes it a little harder to notice. Beautiful. And then what we can do is just make sure that that gets output somewhere relevant to our interests. In a form that I find reasonably useful. Let's drop these down. So now we will do a couple of these because we're going to run out. We can start gear ratioing right off the bat. Where? Cogwheel. Oh, I used all my cogwheels, right. Has to be overworld wood. That sucks. Whatever. I've got plenty of walnut. All right, so we'll do you to, let's see, do that. And then we can do here to here. And again, diagonal. And that should do it. And I'm going to break you. Not bad. Not bad. And so now we have, do we have sufficient RPMage over here? Okay, we do. Okay. As much as I want to make this look better, there's not really a lot of sense in doing that. But we can make more andesite alloy. And we can do that. And then what I'm thinking is I may do girders or something. It's hard to say. This could certainly be faster, but it's fine. Let's see. I don't have glasses. Is that not a quest reward? It isn't. Okay. Well. 2 pieces of glass. String gold. String. Here, you can have... Actually, no, you can't have anything. Receive nothing. Gold. Unless, do I already have plates of some sort? There was one plate that I made. Anyways, lead plate. That's what it was. Because lead is pretty abundant. At the moment, we don't have any major uses. Just as an FYI, I had already planned before I started to stream to call it a wrap today at 8 p.m. my time, because I had not eaten beforehand, and so I knew I would want to eat, because that's important. Everyone should eat. So just a word of, I guess, warning is that I will be calling it then, but that's still another 9 minutes away, and we have stuff to do. Just didn't want to end stream without any forward notice. Metal girder. We love metal girder. The noggin slot. And now we can see how much stress things are pulling. What are you going to do? Come inside? Oh, you're on the roof. Actually, you might be able to come inside, technically. I don't think so, though, because I'm not on hard mode. On hard mode, you would make that jump. Yeah, Git died. So yeah, I definitely like the idea of having girders to support things. I don't know what and or how yet. But girders are very pretty, and I love them. However, I do think I can do something prettier here. Surely there's something I can do here that looks better. Here, let's try something. Oh. Oh, that's actually really cool. I had no idea this was here. Here, you can even receive a brass lantern. Here, and in fact, I have a chain for you too. This is neat. No idea this was here. I like little nooks like this. And then we can do one here. Another one here. And the reason I'm using small cog wheels is because they are more FPS performant. I'm going to put something here, and I think this is still going to work. Yes, it will. Beautiful. And then we will use this all the way up instead. And having that here means that I can do things a little differently. Just a tiny bit. Otherwise, it's largely the same. Don't get me wrong. But I'm thinking it would be really fun to have a length long support like this. And there are supports. I'm trying to remember what they are called. Support, no, it is a... What is it called? Oh, what is it called? I know there's a wooden variant. Yeah, this guy. You. Bracket. Bracket. How do I make? Okay, not that bad. I'm gonna make some brackets. See, this is why we want to have the pretty pipe set up soon. In due time, though. While I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and grab everything I need for sandpaper. Notably, sand and paper. Never mind, that makes suspicious sand now. All right. Supplementaries has been doing this, and it really drives me nuts. All right, we get to go into debug mode. EMI, dev, show recipe IDs. Sandpaper, paper and sand. Then you have this, which gives you slime balls. Supplementaries, colon slime ball, forge slime ball. No, this isn't. What is the recipe ID for this? Oh, right. This isn't the entire mod pack. This is just the Cube.js folder. My fault. Instances. Harmonious Magineering. Updated. Minecraft folder goes in. This is the recipe. Thank God I found it. Add recipes to craft things. No, stop that. Get some help. Supplementaries keeps on doing things that I don't always like. Gravel. Brick. So now I have to restart the game. Great. Well... Boom, we did it. I'm gonna have to push that change though, because that is super annoying. I cannot believe they made that change like that. I just don't get it. All right, that is rose quartz. We now just need 1 iron sheet. I've got plenty of extra iron, but I'm just gonna go and round that up to a full stack. And we should be good for a deployer here shortly. And then we'll probably call it a stream as soon as that is done, because that'll be right around 8 o'clock. Which is perfect timing in my eyes. Ow, my face. And then the deployer will allow us to make other kinds of casings. Now, we needed the wall mount. This guy. Need is certainly a word of choice here, by the way. I obviously don't, but... I don't know, you tell me. I feel like I kind of do. We can put you there. You still are going to need power, which is one of a one of the frustrations that I hold with this setup currently, but that's okay. So what I can do is... Actually, this does work out pretty well. Hang on. This does look better than the last setup did. Let's go. This is better. This is much better. I'm happy with this. And we can just, to kind of keep things vaguely parallel-ish, do that. Except I didn't put you in the same spot on both sides. Is this room uneven? Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What am I missing here? 1, 2, and then on the third. 1, 2, and then on the third would be there. Okay, yeah, no, it is totally fine. Just eyeballs being stupid like mine tend to be. But that looks better that way. And now we can make a brass hand. We can make an iron sheet just like so. Which gets us the electron tube we need. And now we can create a deployer. And the deployer works very similarly to this guy, so we could at any point swap them out, which is nice. We can even do that for now, just to kind of store them. Kind of intrusive, so maybe we don't do that. Anyways, that's that. Thank you very much for the stream where all I did was set up 4 things. I clearly struggled, but we also had a lot to catch up on, a lot to talk about, a lot of good just general chats to have. But I struggled on this more than I want to admit, but I really like the result. It does look good now that it is here and it is done. I actually really do like how these yellow glazed terracotta turned out in the corner. This is something that I stole from Pearlescent Moon that I really liked. The way that they turned out in her builds, and I was like, you know what? Screw it. I found these in a trial ruin or trail ruin. Trail ruin? What are they called? Trail ruin. Yeah, that's such a stupid name. Found it in a trail ruin, so screw it. Let's use them, and we did. We found a bug that we had to fix. We fixed it very last minute. Sandpaper has a stupid recipe. Rather, sandpaper has a fine recipe. Raked gravel, I'm looking at you. Actually, it's not even raked gravel. It's just the suspicious gravel recipes that they're confusing, because, like, you look at the recipe for a slime ball, and you get these, and these don't make sense. These make sense. These are fine. Spectrogel and whatever. But I don't... Are you just telling me that I can rename things with recipes? Anyways, you guys, it has been a real one. I hope you guys have a great rest of your evening and have a good week. Hopefully I will see you Friday or Saturday, probably closer to Saturday, to be honest. Yeah, no, y'all take care of yourselves. I love y'all so much. Y'all are wonderful, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.